But let's now head back to the story where the National Security Advisor, the NSA, Babagana Monguno, identified 3 religious leaders, groups rather, were sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria and the Sahel region. Many thanks, Kabiru Adamu, who is a security expert, for joining us on News Now. Now, this revelation is quite startling for some people, but could you tell us, what do you make of this revelation, especially as Nigeria, as in recent years, having calling for the Nigerian government to reveal some of the sponsors of this terrorist group?
Good evening. So it shouldn't be startling, frankly, especially for us that are covering developments in the Sahel region. In particular, the ISGS, which is a group that has morphed from previous coalitions of terrorist groups, as it were, is not a new thing. The affiliation between the 2 major terror groups in Nigeria, that is the Jamaat al-Ahl Sunnah al-Dawat wal-Jihad and the Islamic State in West Africa province, with groups that are operating in the Sahel region, is not new. Frankly, as far as I'm concerned, I don't see anything sensational about this revelation. What I wanted to hear is, first and foremost, the answer to the various imperatives. In other words, the who. By who, I mean the individuals that are ferrying the money from, or whatever it is, funds from the Sahel into Nigeria. The what, how, what is it? Is it money? Is it any further types of support? And then the how. Are they doing it physically or are they doing it through other means? And then the where and the when. Now, these 5 imperatives is what makes intelligence. Now, just mentioning names that, frankly, we know already exist. I'm talking as far back as 1999. We have already known that there is this relationship between terror groups in Nigeria and these groups in the Sahel region. For me, doesn't answer the question. Then, second part is we would have loved to know the local funders of terrorism, not these international ones. Who are those that are funding these terrorist groups that are based in Nigeria and that Nigeria can easily arrest and prosecute? These international ones would be very difficult, really, for Nigeria on its own to arrest and prosecute. So naming them, frankly, does not really serve any purpose as far as I'm concerned at this moment in time.
So let's talk about persecution now and proscription of this group. But you also mentioned a very, very critical point, which is the federal government identifying and mentioning the names of local sponsors of terrorism. Do you see that happening anytime soon?
Well, we need to keep the pressure. The media, what you're doing is really good. We need to keep that pressure. Then the civil society organizations, we need to keep that pressure. I cannot speak on behalf of government, but when we sustain the pressure, then definitely. And, it's not just an issue of the executive arm of government. The judiciary too has that responsibility. Prosecution is usually by the judiciary. So we hope that they would listen to the yearnings of Nigerians and release those names. And, one of the things I worry is if they don't make these names public, association with them, it will become an offense. And then they can retroactively arrest you and prosecute you for association with them. So they have a responsibility to make these names public so that Nigerians know who they are and to avoid them. I say this with all sense of responsibility. In other parts of the world, we'll see where innocently you are donating money to certain groups. You don't know that those groups are affiliated with terrorist groups. So there is a responsibility really for them to name these groups so that Nigerians know them and avoid them. And where they can help them with information to lead to their arrest and prosecution, Nigerians will be happy to do that. That I'm sure.
Did security expert Kabiru Adamu, I'm sorry it's this much you can take on the topic, but many thanks and thank you so much for your contributions on News Now.